How about now? Okay, there. I don't know what's up with my mic. It's been acting up the last couple of videos. Hang on a sec. Oh, that's what the wind noise is. It's my heater vent. Okay, that's a little better. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's tilt that a little bit. So I'm using my front camera this time because the resolution should be a little better. Let's see, give her a little. Of course, that's now in my way. Okay, so you want to try zooming in. See what happens here. Yeah, like I said, I'm just so late to the party right now. I had a bunch of last minute stuff here to do. No, still. Sorry, folks. Oh, what? Oh, that's why. Can't see. Boom. Zoomed in. Zoomed out. Okay, we'll go with the zoomed out for now. We'll zoom in after. So well, that's like insanely zoomed out. Okay, that works. My Flight Chops mug. Put too much milk in my coffee though. So I don't know how this is going to turn out because I've never tore into either of these carbs to ever compare anything. These are from MS 170, 180. One's a Chinese. This is the Chinese. Let's see if it shows up on there. OEM Chinese. I don't know if that C10 is going to show up. It's a little laggy from what I see here to there, so let's see. Here, I'm going to stand behind the camera because that lag is like annoying. So this is the OEM. This is the Chinese. Both stamped C10. Now Chinese OEM. You notice it doesn't have any of the information as to what carb is on there, whereas the OEM ones do. So I robbed the cover off this one for something a while back. I can't remember what. Let's see here. So they both have the idle adjust. So for whatever reason, the Chinese one has a sleeve in there, whereas the OEM one doesn't. It's threaded. Compensators look pretty, like they look pretty decent. I think the carb kit I robbed out of this for something, or I took it apart. Yeah, I think I took it apart for some reason. I can't remember what now. I've had these for a while. Here's the other thing. So on the, I don't know if there's an actual adjustable version of this or if they use a generic casting, but you got plugs on the OEM one where your high and low would be, whereas the Chinese one on the left does not. It's casted, but there's nothing in there. I'm trying to get, I can't wait to add more light here. Throttle, was that your throttle shafts? Yeah, no. Yeah, your throttle shafts are both, well, that one looks like galvanized. I don't know if that's actually brass or if it's galv. I don't have a magnet with me to check. Let's scratch it. Yeah, so looks brass. Scratching it, looks brass. Yeah, the OEM ones are always better. Honestly, always are. But there's so many of these Chinese ones for so many different saws. And I know I'm on, I think, one good one out of 3 couple other guys are a worse ratio than that. So I just wish these were the adjustables like the Walbro 215 and things like that, just so I can actually compare the needles and look at the seats and compare them, but they're not. This is what I had from a ton of other previous projects. This one does have the ethanol safe gasket in there for the valving. Before I get mixed up. See, I'm already getting mixed up. Let's mark them. Oh, I can't even write on there apparently. OEM. I'll mark that one for China. Make our mold glass. Yeah, John, the everything. It's, you know what, and it's not even the fact that they're made in China. There's so much stuff that actually has decent, medium to decent quality out of China. But it's like you mentioned, was it you that mentioned it? The quality control. Quality control varies. Now, let's get that. See if we can get that screen out. Oh, no, I didn't need that screen anyways. So right out of the gate, I don't know if this is going to show up. I'll see if I have one of these dowels will be big enough to actually fit. One second, let me get behind the camera here. So where your needle and seat sit right out of the gate, China's on right here, OEM. Well, okay, I guess you can see the U, which is actually supposed to be a C. But if you look at the orifice size, right out of the gate, it's substantially larger. So let's see if I have a dowel that'll fit in there really quick. What size is that? I just don't, the only thing I don't know is it going to be the same, like that size all the way right through? Because it looks like it's pressed in. You know what we're going to do? Let's take off these compensators first. Because that might be, I might be able to take that that jet out. Or whatever that is. The thingamabob. Some of these you can pull out, some of them you can't. So no Chinese part got that. Well, Mama Taz, some Chinese things are pretty decent. I mean, like, you get into the cylinders for these things, and if you buy the El Cheapo cheap of the cheap, then yeah, like, you're probably going to run into issues. Like, Buddy just actually showed me a Farmer Tech cylinder for one of his Huskies. Got a pinhole in it. Plating's horrible. It's just a nasty cylinder he's not doing anything with. Now, I don't know. I can't remember if that's been replaced or not. I know their carb kits aren't too bad. I haven't had issues so far running their carb kits, the Chinese ones. Yeah, that's pressed in there. There's nothing. I can't pull that that brass sleeve looking thing out. But the orifice is, looking at it with the naked eye, is way bigger. Let me get this one off. So since I'm not running a loader tonight, how's everybody been? New Year's, Christmas, what's been going on? At least for the ones I haven't talked to. Okay, help this out. Now I don't know if this is going to show up. Let's see. Oops. Hopefully that shows up. The size of the orifices in there. Man, I don't think that light's actually going to show much of the difference coming on the backside, but there is a definite difference. Yeah, John, you know what? I've been doing snow, as almost everybody has been, for everybody that's been on the live feeds. I was supposed to be off for 11 days, I think, and not a chance. Not a chance. Work. All right. Looks like step down. Some of these you can actually read the size, but problem is that they've kind of changed slots a few times. And I don't think my drill bit index will actually have a size that I need. So that's still too big. Yeah, Mama Taz, because I'm using the, I guess they call it the back camera, the one you normally use for pictures. I normally have the other way around and use the front one, the selfie one. Oh, that's still too big. Alright, next step, size down, I believe is this. I just don't know if I'll be able to measure some of those channels that are in this carb. Okay, that fits like a glove. That's the Chinese one. Okay, does not fit. So, double check. Yeah, you can't even see light through it. It fits like a glove. So 36, oh no, 37 thou. That's how big that one is. And I know the other one's smaller. See if this one works. Well, just barely touch. Kind of gets in there, but not entirely. Just touches base in there. Let's see. So try this other one. This other one looks like. Wait, is that step bigger, step smaller? Bigger. Some of these things are so small. I think this one's too small for that orifice. Yeah, it's too small. Okay. This size. What is this one? This is my latest. I probably should not be doing this project because these are already strong little rigs right out of the gate. I don't know if it's showing up there. Man, I hate that leg. It annoys me. I'm doing things I should not be doing to a saw like this. That's acceptable. JB Weldner is questionable for what I'm trying to do, but opened up the transfers a bit, did some grinding in the transition here, roughed all this up because of the plating that was in there. It was super smooth, same as the intake. But yeah, that's just to kind of give you, just to answer that question really quick. Oh, that's a stock. No, none of those have been touched. Not yet. Yeah, John. I also have 162. I'm waiting to come back from Bellhopper whenever he has a chance to machine the cylinder for me yet. So okay, that's not going either. So this little thin hair of one is not fitting in the factory one, and that's. I hope that shows up. 20. No, there. 20 thou. Here, let's write this stuff down. On my magic sheet of paper. OEM China. So whatever I said, I think this one was like 32 thou or something. 36. 37. Yeah, 36. So right out of the gate, Matt, you know what? It makes me wonder how much more these are different, because I know these OEM ones, you can rejet them too, or at least some of them. I think some have them and some don't. For these are the MS 170, 017, MS 180, 018. Whereas, like that, Chinese ones you can't. But judging by the size of that orifice where your needle sits in that seat, I wouldn't want to, because man, I've tried running one of these Chinese ones. No, two of them specifically. This one, there was another one I had issues with, but I didn't look into them like this to see what was up. But the orifice is that big. That explains why. In this case, why it wouldn't run worth a snot. What else we got going? Yeah, see, like, I don't know if my rod's big enough to measure some of these fueling ports, but they look close by the naked eye. But to measure them, I don't know. Oh yeah, hang on a sec. Let me see. I don't think I have an in-between size feeler for that. I think those are the same. They look the same. If that was too big, this one should fit then. I've had these things for so many years, the whole package is falling apart. Well, that one doesn't look like it's going to fit either. Nope, not going to fit. I don't think I have a drill bit small enough in my index to fit that either. I don't believe I do. No, definitely don't. So we're looking at 16 thou difference from that needle and seat. Now, let's see what else. Are any of them tapered, not tapered? Not tapered. Okay, that's interesting. This will not show up in camera, by the way. It is so small and minuscule, like, I need to take my glasses off to look at it. So, where your needle and seat sit, the OEM one looks like it has, like, such a minuscule taper to it. See if I flip it the right way around here. Yeah, no, there's a... I highly doubt this is going to show up on camera because I can barely see with my naked eye. Let's see. This is the OEM one. I don't know if I can even get to focus in this app. Oh, yeah, kinda. Let's see. No, I can't get it to focus enough, but there's a slight bevel. There's a slight bevel on there. No, I can't get it to focus enough. There's a slight bevel. There's a slight. Yeah, see, even this, you can't really see it. This is the needle that came out of the OEM one. Let's see if I get the focus. I don't know if it'll focus on something like this. We're going to give her a go, though. Hang on a sec. Man, I need to cut my nails. No, it doesn't really, it won't focus very well on it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Don't try this as a backing. I don't think it'll focus on that either. This is the one out of the China one. The needle. No, it won't. You can see, you can actually see a very fine line from every time it just goes to seat. Because these carbs haven't been rebuilt. Like I said, I can't pick it up on camera. I can barely see with the naked eye. So that makes me want to believe, yeah. And then on this one, you. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. No, I got it backwards. This is the China one. Probably doesn't show the seating line actually on the needle, whereas this other one, because the orifice is bigger, it seats deeper. Doesn't mean it's good or it's bad, it just, yeah. And then the one that came with the OEM one's like a 32nd or something, 16th of an inch from the tip. Nothing but chainsaws. I'm comparing, just kind of trying to go through these cheap China carbs and the OEM version. These are from, I can't remember, they're from an MS 170 or 180, 010, 018, either or. But I know I replaced a China carb with another China carb with another China carb. And I think I tossed the other China one out, but I kept this one for whatever reason. And then the OEM one. Where are we at here? Oh. Let's check my comments here, one sec. Okay, apparently it's my laptop that's laggy. Yeah, Mama Taz. If you saw my lights I have here, they are extremely bright, but they're actually too bright. They're like, I'm running everything's LED down here, but I need to put another one actually just behind me. Chippy muffler. John Arnett, I'm up in Manitoba, Canada. Comparing. Not as hard as steel. These things are some sort of a rubber, John, because like they're flexible. I don't know if it shows, but I can actually take and bend that tip a bit. It's definitely not steel. It's some sort of a rubbery compound. So, nothing but chainsaws. Earlier, I mentioned just moments ago, though. So on this side, where your needle and seat would be, for example, this OEM one has a replaceable jet, whereas The China one does not. Also, the orifice where your needle and seat would sit is 16 thou actually larger on the China carb that's supposed to be for the same saw, which possibly plays a factor in all this as to why they suck. Now, I don't know what's going on underneath these Welsh plugs. I've never toyed with Welsh plugs, so let's see. Start measuring a couple holes here and see. I don't know if my chronometer can even fit in there. That's gonna be more of a pain. Let's see if any of these rods will fit. Oh no, that's way too big. Step size down. Too much play. Too much play. I don't know if I'll have one that'll actually fit. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Looks like the next step up. Okay, it's tight. Okay. Now for your fuel passages, I don't know if this would actually make a difference. It probably would, just like the orifice and the needle and where your needle and seat would be. That's pretty snug in the OEM one. Is that like... Yeah. This is not a very technical explanation of everything, but... But let's just see, like, some of the differences. I just wish, like I said, I wish I had... Maybe I'll order up, because I have some different 026 carbs. Maybe I'll order up some... order a Chinese one just to kind of see what's up. Okay, no, that doesn't even begin to go in. It's close, but I don't think I have a rod that would fit. Let's try. Let's get into the right size though. I should be able to use a drill bit. Too big or too small. Because all this stuff plays out on how these things feel. Nope. That drill bit's like the same size as that one steel rod I had. And that one's too big. They're not much difference in size of that rod and that drill bit, but no, they're probably pretty close. So I can't accurately measure that one, unfortunately. Now, is there anything visual that you can see? Since I can't measure some of those orifices. No. Only I can see size different is that slot on the OEM one versus the slot on the China one. That's about it. Now, the fun part. Now that this one specifically, I wiped the grease off it, but I had grease on there because I was trying to trace a vacuum leak. And so when I was spraying like brake clean around the carb intake, just trying to track it down, this thing was, I remember this one was being erratic. So it turned out to be in the end of it all, it was leaking around the shaft. Now, so once I pull this carb out, it's going in the garbage or apart. Choke plates. Okay, well, I can't physically, I'm sure there's a way, but to measure your actual holes, like that's the OEM one. And you can see kind of how they're on the edges for your choke for loud air in, whereas this one's actually on a plate. You know what? And that's even more interesting. I already pulled the screw, but I haven't shifted it. But you can see hole there, and then that hole is actually blocked by the shaft. In this case, I mean, you can clock it. It's a circle. I mean, you can clock in whatever which way you want. Like, this is the way it came, though. Now I see it. Turn it. Now you have both holes have access. But volume to volume, I don't imagine they would flow much different from one another. Or you know what? I wonder too, because this OEM one, the holes lined up with the shaft, but it has two different holes for your choke to allow air through. Whereas, and that looks smaller, because the way this was clocked, it was this tiny hole that was lined up with the bore, whereas that hole was lined up on the shaft. Now, where... Oh my gosh, that is so tiny. Hang on a sec. Let's see if I can pull that out. Try to see if I can pull that C-clip out. Where did I get this other picks? Couple screwdrivers. I'm really seeing that thing somewhere. I don't know where I put it. P.S. If you drink coffee, save your containers. They were freaking phenomenal for saw parts. P.S. If you drink coffee. Oh, that one's empty. But what's this one? Oh, this one's like carb parts, fueling parts, stuff like that. Another one up there is got 26 MS260 parts in it, all the small stuff. Now, I don't know if I can get that little C-clip out. That thing is tiny. Tiny C-clip, tiny pliers. Just because I'm Asian does not mean anything, okay? Just saying, tiny pliers for tiny C-clip. Just because I'm Asian does not mean anything, okay? Let's try that little knife blade. Hopefully I don't stab myself in the process. Okay. I did a thing. I've only had a couple of these like apart like this before. Come on off of there. Okay, my handles keep rotating. Oops. Okay. Cool. This might help. Man, I hope this idea of a live feed does not kick me in the butt. Because, man, how the heck are you supposed to get that out? Since I've got zero cares about this carburetor specifically. Holy cow. Squirrel. Yeah, I suffer from that periodically. Okay. I'm not going to fight that anymore. I give up. Actually, I shouldn't, because I should actually measure that board. I have another pick. I don't know what cupboard I put it in. I found one. Really? Now it's being a pain. Still nothing. Oh, Mama Taz, that has happened countless times, but if if you've seen this room, I would not want to throw tools in here. What the heck was it I lost a little while ago? Can't remember what it was. I was trying to put something together a couple weeks ago, and whatever it was went ting. I heard it bounce off a couple things, and I just walked away. Oh, circlip for wrist pin on for my 026. Yeah, man, what in the hell? Okay, since I don't care about this, let's take it off the user-friendly way, we'll call it. Really? I can't get that out. And I don't have my snap ring pliers here. Oh, wait. This is falling into, I don't know what drawer to put it in. What did I do with it? It's not underneath my nose like I thought. Not in there either. Man, where's my BFG? Or BFH? Okay, give me a second, it's gotta be here somewhere. There we go. Let's get the BFH out. I don't know if I can hook this enough. Oh, man, no, I can't. Doesn't matter where I don't have a vise. It just keeps free spinning on me. Why is it everything's got a fight? In a side note, camera's moving, I'm just trying to dig something out here. Side note is, we'll get into this one later. Camera's moving, I'm just trying to dig something out here. This is a winter project, along with a bunch of the others. Flight Chops, if you like aviation stuff, this guy's freaking wicked, and he's Canadian too. Flight Chops, if you like aviation stuff. Yeah, all in all, you know what? I really don't know how the heck to get that out. I did not expect. I've had these out before, but this one is just fighting me. Uh-oh, kiddos are having fun upstairs apparently. No, can't get it out. I wanted to measure up that that orifice, or not orifice, that whole, like the whole shaft, everything. Like, I can measure where it's at, but I wanted to see, like, also measure the bore for that shaft. I can get the throttle linkage one out, but that's not going to help. Okay, hang on a second here. I was showing you a throttle plate versus a choke plate. Throttle plates are actually the same. I just realized I flipped it over, and this is set up the same. So the China one is set up the same as this. Hole on the shaft, then one down there for your choke. Now, see, these are all funny, like wonky donkey setups, because like, I wonder what that jet size is. Now let's see. Like, the OEM one has a 45 stamped on it. but there's no in hell that is 45 thou. John, it does. I just have a cluster of stuff going on right now, literally. Me and the fiance moved in together this summer, and I haven't moved most of my tools. My toolbox is still at the other house and stuff like that. Or else I would have more stuff in a toolbox. But I have a feeling I gotta build a bigger box. Or a bigger bench, sorry. More stuff in a toolbox. Let's see, I don't know if I have anything smaller than... Nah, anything smaller than that. I should actually invest just for shits and giggles into a whole set of these buggers. Like a more finer set, because I can't even measure the jet sizes. I know they come in different sizes. I've messed around a little bit with the MS. I think it was the, I can't remember if it was the 180 that I had or the 170. I swapped out jets to a little bigger one, but it didn't make a difference. That really sucks. Like I say, I did not know what I was up against when I accepted this challenge. So since I can pull this out, yeah, I don't think it matters which one of these you switch out to, because the orifice might be the same size in there. Whereas, I don't know if I can pull these ones out of the China one. I don't know if I have anything small enough. Because it looks like, it almost, I don't know if that's glued in, or if it's just pressed in. Can't tell. Yeah, it looks like there's adhesive of some sort in there. Cool. Another thing I just noticed. The things you notice on these things when you start taking them apart and comparing them. There. Move some stuff out of the way. Mackie Mac's a little too big to be up there. Probably swear in about 30 seconds when I stand up and trip over it.
3.6 first one.
Chris, that's not bad. 62. I don't know what that works out to be in degrees Celsius. What is that, about +5? No, 62? That's gotta be in the 20s. Okay. Get this plate off next. Have a good night, Mama Taz, if you're still here.
Have a good night, Mama Taz.
Okay. There's the idle screw. You can see the machining's even clearly going to be better on OEM, but I try not to swear over that saw. Oh. Let's see, what is what here. Give me 2 shakes. Okay. Oops. Let me lock that camera down. 0 degrees is oh, okay, 32. Machining work inside there. You can see a little bit of the little bit of difference. Like that one's pretty clean,
Machining work inside there.
whereas China, you can see some of the casting in there still. So maybe it might show up better. Let's try that. No flashlight. Hang on. Try this without a flashlight. Yeah, it doesn't show up as good, but you can kind of see how rough that is. It's right around the whole bore. And this is the OEM. Oh, match on the same side. I don't know if it shows up how much smoother it is in there, though. Yeah, it doesn't clear it up super good, though. That's a little better, but yeah, you can see how much smoother it is in there. All that affects the overall performance of the carburetors or carbutuners or however you want to put it. Now, I'm not even going to bother pulling those Welsh plugs out. The fact of, with how rough these things are, like maybe you might be able to, if you're creative enough and want to spend the time to actually take it apart and clean it, you know, might work better. But I personally wouldn't even be bothered to do it. Just if you haven't tinkered with a Chinese carb, it's buyer beware 100%. I wouldn't waste money on them. Even the surfaces, like I mean, like that's machined. It should be squared out right out of the box. I'm not even gonna put a flat edge on to check, but that's just casted. Like, well, actually, it looks like there's a little bit of machine grooves. I don't know if it's showing up on there, and then it looks like it might be maybe it's plated after or coated, because you can't feel the any of the bumps there from casting. Impulse holes look pretty close to the same size. Yeah, I mean, so but by the fact of the needle and seat being larger on the China one, that should affect overall performance. Because I mean, even if you're even with your needle off the seat for the same, if they both came off the seat at the same time for the same amount of time, this is still going to flow more by volume than this will. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but there was a reason why I pulled this one off. Plus, there was a vacuum leak around the throttle shaft originally. This carb ain't going in the garbage, though. This is the good one. And even if it's not good, well, overall good, because it probably needed a carb kit. There's a reason why I never used it, I'm sure. Or not yet. Here, let's see. Put this back together quick. Or not back together, but I don't want to lose that. Yeah, so I'll have to order up maybe this week or next week. I'll order up or 026 MS260 carb, because like, I mean, I got a few options of those kicking around here. Chris, you know what I've used on, gosh, I think like 3 or 4 different carburetors. I've used the China kits. Because like some of these saws, like these 180s and 170s, like I buy, fix them and sell them sometimes when I can get a good enough deal on them. And I've used those kits in them before. I believe my ported 026 has a Chinese kit in it. I know I have a Chinese kit in here for another one yet. And I haven't had issues with them yet, but yeah, I mean, like, here, like, example, like, if I go and order up, yeah, if I order up a Chinese MS260 carb, I mean, I think I own every carb but one. I think they use like 4 different carbs on the MS260 026s, and I have 4, I believe it's 4 of, or 3 of the 4. Can't remember here. That's a 421. Yeah, so I have three of the, I think four they used. Because I have, this one's a WT 194. That's what's on my ported saw right now. And this is a 646 and a 421. So, oh, what else in here that I'm missing or I haven't looked at yet? Okay, so 0 degrees Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. Okay, I use Fahrenheit. Chris, where are you in the States or Canada? The I think too with the carbs with the China versus the OEM, or at least China OEM versus cheap Chinese is not. Yeah, it's not just the materials; it's just all the machining process too. Because like say like where the needle and seats sit on this China one here, for example, it was 16 thou difference. Thank God I wrote that down, or else I wouldn't remember. I was gonna say, but yeah. So I mean, like just that alone, like say, if the needle comes off the base for the same amount of time on both carbs and drops at the same time, provided the arms and everything are exactly where they should be, the Chinese one is going to flow more volume wise. It's going to flow more fuel, right? So, oh, you're North Carolina, okay. Mr. Arnett's North Carolina. What about Chris Beck? Coffee's very cold. Oh my gosh, this thing's a pig. So I haven't really got into this thing at all yet. I've had it running. It needs love. It runs. It has some compression, but definitely feels low. This is on one of my to-do lists at some point once I get done mucking around here with the 026s or MS260s, that 025, got the 200T, and I'm either going to tackle into this one next and start getting a parts list going, and or I'm going to start building a 272 from a 266 chassis. So once whenever Bellhopper gets has time to machine the 162 cylinder, then I'll get back onto that one too. But the guy's so busy. I mean, he's going to do it whenever he's going to do it. And then I also have, this is not mine, but a 543 XP sitting here too, Husqvarna. That one's actually one of my dad's. So, but this thing here, it was actually oh yeah, so for Chinese carburetors, I wouldn't buy them. Unless you really just want to try them out and see what happens. They're cheap enough. If something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world. So, this old bugger, oh, weighs a ton. Dash 50. I had this thing running under its own power for a short moment of time, but the carb is all, I don't even know how long it's been sitting for. Guy actually donated it, a local guy, and he used a chainsaw repair shop or a small engine repair shop or something, and he was scrapping a bunch of things. So yeah, like he donated this, and there was a couple other saws that weren't worth fixing. I ended up just scrapping them too. But this, out of all the ones that he brought, was definitely the cat's meow. This thing's definitely seen better days. But yeah, Chris, I've been running nothing but OEM for the most part, and then just in the past, I think like 6 months or so, I started. I tried some of the Chinese ones, and so far I've had good luck for. Uh-oh, something just fell. But yeah, oh, that's busted. This will be a project. Yeah, I have to turn into this yet, but sprockets. No, yeah, no, she's getting worn. I'm curious. I'm very, very curious because it's missing a bar stud. The recoil's busted, but it still works. He actually had a spare one, so I got that out of it. I think I threw gas in this fall. Look at this size. Look at the size of that freaking fill on that tank. Like, the thing's massive. Mind you, the rest of the saw's massive too, but look at the size of that freaking fill on that tank. The thing's massive. I haven't even. This is about the furthest I've looked into the saw now. Where's my light? What did I do with my light? When I got this thing, I threw gas down the carb into the tank too, and just to kind of see if it would fire, and it did. Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, this is an old girl. I think they made these things. Akers said I think it was like for 1 year or something, 1969. This thing here is I think 80 or 85 cc's. This thing here is I think 80 or 85 cc's. If you haven't seen my other lives, but I've talked about some of the other Macs I've had years and years ago, and in an emergency situation, I had to get rid of all of them, and some were hard to find. Some were not, but some were. So, yeah, this is on the list to try to do this year. Like I said, I had this old bugger running, fired up, and running under her own power, but it doesn't run very good. It needs love. So, yeah, I actually almost I was considering fixing this up, and I don't know how dirty or clean it's going to be underneath all this oil and grime yet, but I was thinking about fixing it up and actually maybe send it to Buck, and just, I've only seen one of these on his channel, but I don't know yet. I'm undecided. Because, like, man, it is such an old unique bugger, this one. And I also have, what is it, I think it's an earlier mid-60s Pioneer P600 or 620 at the other house too. Yeah, this one's a Mac 1-50. Like I say, she needs some love, but it's gonna be an interesting adventure when I start ripping into this one. Interesting. You know what? I don't think. No, that chain case I don't think is. It looks broken, but the clutch actually sticks outside of the housing. Interesting. This is for another day. I got too many part going projects here. Yeah, when I saw this, I did not know what the heck it was or nothing. Yeah, that's pretty dirty. No, guy had this sitting in his shed, I think, shed or shop or something for a lot of years, he said. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool though. I like it. You know what? Even if I weren't to actually fix it, worst cases, I would actually just wall hang it. Who knows what this saw has seen over the years and where it's been. So much history on these things. That is cool. It's actually a rubber, like a liner right there, almost inside for your fingers. Yeah, that is one big old bugger, that one. So, yeah, so I think for now, that's what, that's all I'm going to touch base for now on these carbs. I think for now, until I order another, order one for the O26 or MS260 saw, so you can actually compare, see what the needles and seats look like, or at least as much as possible, things like that. try to get some measurements just to see, because like say I know some guys I was reading were having issues, even on the tube, you know, like leaking around the throttle and choke shafts and things like that. But I mean, if those orifices are also a problem because their sizes are too big or too small on top of other manufacturing process issues, so I can foresee these things being a lot of headache. Like, I'm just looking where the choke shaft goes through even, and it's definitely lacking in the quality control side of things here. Definitely. So, Chris Beck, you know what? That's the biggest saw. Actually, I don't know if that's the biggest saw that I have. That old Pioneer actually might be a couple cc's bigger, but they're in the same category. Both built like tanks, just torque monsters. They are not meant to cut fast. How would you put it? Yeah, I don't know how to put it. I don't know what to compare it to. I can't think straight enough right now. Okay, it's like an old 2007 diesel. They don't make a lot of power. They're torque monsters, whereas the newer ones, say you go into the step up into the 6 liters after the 7.3s, make a ton more power. They're faster, but the horsepower is more. Torque's definitely, you notice, is more, but they also rev higher. I don't know, a whole bunch of variances. Drive. What do you run for saws that you own or work with there, Chris? Because I mean, I don't run typically big saws. I got rid of my ported 038 mag. That was the biggest one in my small fleet of personal saws. But I'm going to be rebuilding a 262K or chassis with a 272 top end, so I got another 70cc class saw. The 162, until I get the cylinder back, I'm at a dead stop on it. It's my first 60cc class saw, but they're a great overall utility. Like, they're in the middle of everything. But my 72cc, it was very mildly ported, and I was pulling. You can't see the full bar up there, but that laser bar, it's 32 inch. I was pulling it with full comp and no problem. Big saw I have is my home like Superway 77. Well, 77cc is not very small. I love my ported, actually 026s MS260s. I'm not gonna lie, they're just super light. If you haven't seen any of my videos, like, I'm pulling a 24-inch bar on them for shits and giggles yesterday, and I've done it a couple of times actually. I'll slap a 28 on there. Oiler's not the happiest, but it's not like I'm making big cuts with them. I'll make a single pass or a couple single passes on the logs I got are anywhere from 20 to 24 inches across. One of them depends how you cut it. I think one of them's like 24, but it's like oval shaped because it's where it's branched off from, kind of idea. And I think at the widest point you're almost 4 feet across, 3.5, 4 feet across. So depends how you want to cut it. My biggest. Yeah, those Macs though, man. Like, those Macs were like little torque machines right out of the gate. I actually got 2 sitting in a box right now over here. Those ones are just parts, so those are getting shipped, mailed out this week sometime. 391. How many cc is that? 391. That's a 70cc class, isn't it? Something like that. No, it's not. It's a 50 something. Because I got a 291 here with a shot piston in it. And I think they're the same CCs, aren't they? I can't remember. That's another thing is going to be coming down on the bench sometime in the near future. I got to see what's going on with that. That one, that's one that grenaded. Haven't torn it apart yet, but I'm pretty sure it was the PTO side seal went leaned out and pooched it. Yeah, you can't see, like, I'm not going to turn the camera for it, but yeah, I got, what is it there? The MS170, I got to get that listed. The 026 MS260, both are ported. The MS260 is actually still an 026. It's just got a 260 ported top end. I've been working on, that's going to be getting sent out too soon. Well, the top end's getting sent out. Got another MS260 on the floor. I actually have to tear in two. And you know what? Case in point, let's do this right meow. I'm just curious because it has the heated carb and heated handlebar. But I don't know if it has the generator still in it. I've been meaning to check, but just haven't had time. So let's see. Am I gonna be? See if I'm gonna be cursing or not cursing. $64, okay. No, that's a perfectly good CC class. I have, like, say that 162 Husky I got is the first 60cc class I actually owned. Oh, how about I use the bit that's right in front of me? Let's see. Is the generator in here or not? Those wires go. So I think that could be wrong. I thought the generator was behind the flywheel though. That doesn't look right because I don't see wires running behind there. How bad is this cylinder? And this is why I say I suffer from squirrel moments. Oh yeah. That cylinder's pooched. Intake's pooched. Yeah. I didn't think that was salvageable. Chris, have you ported any of those home lights before? Because I was just like, today Tin Man had his live feed on. He was saying some of those things are a little on the finicky side, eh? Oh, here, a sec. I want to see something. So that's the winter package version. Hang on a sec. This is the non-winter package because I got to pull this off anyways. So I have to extract the screw out of there. Oh, nice. That fell on one of the carbs. Oh well. Didn't need it. Now let's see. Does not appear to me that there is anything stating there's a generator, but the IPL says there's a generator. Okay, I think I got two flywheels are different. Yeah, I'm looking at this wrong. Okay, who wants to stay long enough for me to pull off the flywheel? Because now I'm really curious. This was not the whole plan tonight, but no, okay, my poles are over there. Okay, let's leave that one on. Slide that under the bench. Got the right size socket? Yes, it is. Now what did I do with my rope? Actually, you know what? This whole cylinder's buggered up anyways, so who cares? Piston shot, cylinder shot. No point in trying to save something that's busted. What's up, Mr. Pixel? I wasn't planning on doing all this at all actually tonight, but since I suffer from squirrel moments, I will deal with the rest of the bench tomorrow. Okay, give me a sec here. Try this method first. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to whip the pullers out. Time for the pullers. I cheat. Yeah, Nick, I can only imagine, dude, like, honestly, I don't even know what you do for work, but it sounds like it's all tech-oriented, and I can only imagine how busy you are with that stuff, dude. I was supposed to be back at work tomorrow, but we'll see how my back feels. Because, man, it was hurting today after all that snow. Best investment ever. Cool. Folks, I have a generator.
Best investment ever.
And a generator flywheel. That's why it looks so different. That ring. Here, see. I can't remember. See if I still have a flywheel in here. No. I have a 260 flywheel somewhere, just clearly not out here. It's probably one of my boxes. That's interesting. Like, see, I don't own anything with a heated carb with the winter package, heated carb and heated bar. So that's cool. So if that shows up, Dees, yeah, that's the generator. I don't know. So that must be what the holes are in the case then for those 3 little screws. I'm not going to do it tonight, but I think I'm going to do it this week. I think I'm going to swap that over. Swap the heating plate over, the sensor, the bar. Man, you know what? If you haven't seen my other video, I went to the dealer, bought a bunch of some power heads and stuff. $25 for this. I didn't realize what it was till I came home, and then I saw the little flicky flippy there, the hand warmer. It's the first actually winter package saw I have come across. Oh. Hey Nick, speaking of, since you just got here. Hey Nick, speaking of, since you just got here. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this thing to zoom in. Oh, I hit my camera in so many different ways here, apparently. Old 80cc Mac. One of the many to-dos. Tools away. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut her loose here. I gotta get some stuff put away. I didn't expect actually to be on. I don't even know how long I've been on for. My computer's telling me 104 seconds ago, but I mean, it's definitely been a lot longer than that. Let's see, zoom out. Is that working? I can't tell yet. Wait for it to catch up. Oh, clearly not. So when I get the when I wrote up those other Chinese carbs there, though, I want to do a comparison on them for compared to those 026 MS260 ones I got just for shits and gigs. So what else? This thing too. This is going to be an interesting one. I started already recording as I was going through it, waiting for a carb to come from the States. If I don't get one here, if it doesn't get here in the next couple of weeks, I think I'm going to temporarily try to retrofit an MS260 one on. The impulse setup is different completely, but the studs are the same. They fit. So, like I said, I'm not sure yet. And then also, I got two different flywheels, and one's lighter than the other. I'm putting that one on. I'm gonna see if they'll make this little bugger zip. I don't know. Took some time intake timing out of it because it's already on the. I can't remember what my number was. It's in my book there, but it was already like maxed as far as the safe number, the safe areas, and whatever to go. Especially like the exhaust roof. I can't remember like what the timing was on that, like 99, 98 or something degrees. It was something ridiculous. So I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. If it doesn't work, so be it. I got another cylinder. Not an issue. Not an issue. See how this turns out. If it doesn't work, so be it. I got another cylinder. Chris Beck, you're talking about like if you're talking on YouTube, if you're on your computer. If you're on your computer, you still would search it up here, punch in whatever it is, the channel or whatever of interest. Hit the little magnifying glass to search, and then on the app, would be the same thing. There's a little magnifying glass there you can click, and it'll be the same thing as that, where you just punch in the person's channel or whatever to find it. If you're trying to do it in live, I know you can do it on mobile live. Because I know I do it. Like you can kind of minimize the live feed. Try to remember. I just do it is the problem. I shut the comments down, stay in the live, close the comments, but make sure your phone is like in portrait. In portrait, so it's facing up and down. You shut the comments off, and then you should be able to get that little magnifying glass in the top right corner there. At least it's top right on my Android. And you can search and do stuff in there too. If you click a video though, it'll shut whatever live feed down that you're watching. Stuff in there too. If you click a video though, it'll shut whatever live feed down that you're watching. How do I find someone's profile? Yeah, Nick, YouTube. I've been noticing YouTube's been doing some funny things. Like that's one of those things as well. It is definitely handier if they would have left some of these options alone, but I'm sure it'll bring it back. All these different social media platforms are changing things, and they end up usually reverting back to the original thing again, or close to it. I don't even know who's all watching. I got 4 people in here. I don't know who, but side note, I gotta send these off to Muffler. Oh crap, Nick, I forgot to email you, dude. I just remembered that. Again, my scroll moments. Nick, I forgot to email you, dude. I just remembered that. Again. So, let's see. Let's see if I can zoom. I won't even zoom in on it. So, let's see. Oh, I already scratched it. Son of a gun. I'll fix that. So, I know Bellhopper isn't watching. Guaranteed he's not watching. Only some of the cool kids come and hang out. But I haven't posted the videos yet. But this is if you've seen the throwing hatchets that were donated to his hopper stock. So I had a bunch of axe heads or these throwing hatchets left. So this is the one I actually personalized for him that he asked if he could have one personalized. So nice balanced. It's actually gunmetal blued. Which case in point, I have clear coat. I got to clean this up, touch it up, and clean it again, and then try clear coating it and see if it holds up. This stuff scratches, and I baked the snot out of it onto the metal.
You really want to go?
Yeah, Nick, it's, you know what, after watching and listening to your feeds and your information and stuff like that, it's just a funny system how it works. Like, don't quote me, but I'm sure YouTube does stuff like Instagram. Not the scammers per se, like the people that will boost your, like, say your Instagram or your follows and likes or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's not much different for YouTube either. It's either that, or maybe through the past, a bunch of people were making maybe too many profits, and the early years of YouTube time, I don't know. Yeah, because I still got to find time to do, actually, speaking of, and I know I talked about it on the weekend, or not on the weekend, it is the weekend, Wednesday night, I think, that I still got to get my button gear. Now that I'm not doing snow, I have some time to do some stuff again. And I got to do, I'm pretty sure Mr. Taz isn't in here because he hasn't popped in at all yet. So I still got to do throwing hatchet for him. I got to figure out how I'm going to go about that one yet. That one's going to be low key until I get it all figured out and done. Then I also have to figure out a giveaway hatchet. It's probably not going to be that style though. I'm running low on those heads, like really substantially low. And it was kind of a one-time deal where I can get a bunch of these heads with broken handles and stuff, and now that's gone, done, and over with, and I've already given a ton of them away. So that's off the table for giveaways, basically. But I have a bunch of other styles here. Like, maybe I might be nice enough and maybe give another one of those styles away. But then I have these ones too. World Axe Throwing League heads. That's actually what those are too. And I got a few of these. They're just normal hatchet heads. They're pretty normal anyways. I'd say they're pretty normal. But I got a bunch of these, so that's what I was thinking about doing for giveaway. But we'll see. We will see. Oh, back up. Yeah. I think I only got about 4 of those left, I think. So, and this is the first and only time I've ever come across them. Just trying to think. Got other axe heads? No. Anyways, I think that is it. That's where I'm going to cut her off here for tonight. When I get a, like I said, when I get a Chinese carb for the 026, one that's comparable to one of the other 3 ones I have, then I'll dip into that next. But I don't think I'll do it live. I think I'll just do a quick bid on it, see what happens. Just try to think what else. Yeah, no, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I don't even know what time it is at this point. I know I'm getting tired. It's been a long, long week. 9:30, so I'm going to cut her off here for the night, guys. And everybody, take care. I'll touch base. I don't know. I got some videos to put out too, so might be in a day. Might be the end of the week. Everybody, take care. Have a good night.